Hello and welcome. This video is late. I've been in one of those blah slumps. Anyway, let's get into this here. This video, we're going to talk about the calls Biden is making for a constitutional amendment and what's involved. Because he wants to do reforms on the Supreme Court, and he wants to make sure nobody, no matter what government position they take, is above the law. Now, we have information on the Constitution on making amendments and ratification, Bill of Rights. But yeah, the amendments. Just a basic backstory on it if you need to look that up again. Essentially, yeah. He wants to put some constraints on a rogue Supreme Court. One of them is one of the things he wants done is no immunity for crimes a former president committed in office. Basically telling Robert Snow, you're a fucking moron for making that decision in court, you dipshit. No public servant should be above the law. It don't matter who you are. So yeah. Like I said, when Roberts made that decision, he was a fucking idiot and a fucking moron for making such a goddamn decision. Stupid as shit. And you can look at any legal scholar and they'll probably tell you the same thing. Yeah, that was stupid. He wants term limits for Supreme Court justices. There was originally no term limits for president, but because Franklin Roosevelt was so popular, and ended up getting a not only a second term, but a third and a fourth, Republicans cried, "We need an amendment," and forced one in to say no president can ever have more than 2.5 terms. The whole idea of a half term is if you take over halfway through, as a vice president, you take over halfway through the president's term and then take 2 terms of your own. But yeah. Now, there's been no term limits for Supreme Court justices. And Biden's like, yeah, clearly that's time to change because they feel they are unbeholden to anyone. And he wants to change that. And third, yeah, binding code of conduct for the Supreme Court. Other federal court appointees must follow a code of conduct. The Supreme Court didn't have one. They tried to proclaim, we'll set our own, and it's self-regulatory. Meaning shit, more or less. Meaning, yeah, we'll say we've got a code of ethics. No, you don't. And he wants a legitimate code of ethics placed upon members of the Supreme Court. I mean, Congress, as much as it's been whittled down and weakened to where you can't get them unless they more or less say, here's this for this. Yeah. They still have technically a set of rules and specifications. Supreme Court should be under a set of rules and ethics. And yeah, it makes perfect sense. Anybody who whines and bitches and moans about it can go kick rocks, because they're just being a little bitch at that point. Yeah, especially Clarence Thomas. That sack of shit needs to go. He is corrupt as fuck. So they talk about this and that on how it may work, because there's issues on how well it can be used, how well it can be enforced. Now, technically, it's going to take a lot, but I get the feeling something like this will have a lot of backing. If you say, yes, the Supreme Court should have, some level of oversight, I feel that the American people will be like, yeah, that needs to happen. But of course, the partisan bullshittery that has fucked us in the ass as a nation will make this so ridiculously difficult to get done. Just the two-party dumb shittery. It'll screw over America. It's why right now we have trouble getting any real great thing done, because you have two parties when we're one of the most populous. We are the most populous first world democracy, but we only have two parties. It's bullshit. Bullshit. It's why we need more parties in Congress. It's why other parties should have a stronger pull. Because right now it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Two parties that more or less take from the same big money donors, but decry this or that or this or that. Anyway, yeah. It's something that I can guarantee the American people would, in the majority, say, yeah, needs to be done. Because Supreme Court's at an all-time low in popularity. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this to y'all's attention, and again, the attempt to say, hey, nobody that is a public servant should be above the law, which is what the presidency is. It's not meant to be a kingship, an emperorship. As much as Donald may want it to be, as much as he told a group, he says, my Christians, my beautiful Christians, vote this once, you won't have to vote again. Why? Why, motherfucker? Are you saying there will never be another vote? You're going to get rid of democracy? What the fuck are you saying? Yeah. Anyway. I just wanted to bring it to y'all's attention. I had a much bigger video with a lot more anger and vitriol, but I was like, I need to redo this. Because I was getting too ramped up on it. Anyway, as always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my links and sources in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.